So let's learn Python and print out some programs. So for example, say print code with MD and if you click play, as you can see, it's printing on the terminal console code with MD. So this is how you can print. So let's go to the console here on the right hand side and type in, for example, print uh, 5 divided by 2, and what happens? It gives you the answer 2.5. So it gives us a decimal value of 2.5. So this is a floating point number, or float for short. So for example, we say 6 divided by 2, it's going to be 3, right? But it's giving us a floating point number. But if you want an integer value, you need to put 8//4 and enter. It's giving us an integer value. It gives us 2. So the main part is with a double slash will always give us a integer value, not a decimal value. For example, 2.5, it don't give you that value. It will give you, I'll give you an example here. So say 5 divided by 2, it should be 2.5, but it will give us a value of 2.5. If I go 5 double slash 2, it will give us 2, not the 0.5, as you can see here. That's an example. So this is a float division. It will always give us a integer part, not the decimal part. So this division will give you the lowest number of the decimal number. So in a positive number, it will give us the lowest number, which is 2. But if we do a negative number, let's see what happens. Minus 5 divided by 2, the answer is 2.5. So it's giving us the exact number, 2.5. So for example, if you do 5 divided by 2, it gives us minus 3. So it gives us the highest value because it's a minus 1. So for example, print say 2 to the power of 8, and it will give us 256, of course, yes. So it's 2 to the power of 8. So let's print out code with MD. It will give us the answer code with MD. But let's print out without the quotation mark MD. So no quotation mark, and if you press enter, it gives us a error, name error, name, print, print, print. Ah, there we go. There was a mistake, typo. So for example, if we correct that, print, and if we try to print, what happens? It's still an error. Why there is an error while we print? Because there is no quotation marks. Because so whenever we print within the bracket a number, it will print out a number. But if we print out an expression, it will print out that as well, the answer. But if you print a string code with MD, it doesn't know that it's a string, so it's showing an error. So you have to use quotation mark in between the brackets, so single quotation, or could be double quotation. So we'll use double quotation for now, and in between, and then we press enter. Let's see, I print, put a typo here, NT. So then print, and it's print out the whatever you have in between the quotation string. Okay, sounds good so far. So this let's clear the screen. Let's say world equals 50, and then we say world or print world now it knows it will print 50 because now the world knows its value was stored as 50, so it will print 50. Before it didn't know what to print, for example like this, because I stored the value there already, so it's printing out that value. What print function does is it's displaying the information between those strings. So for example, if I say this world, and if you press enter, it will print that, because if you use quotation mark, it knows it's a string and it will print out that string. So for example, if you want to print how is it going and quotation mark, close parenthesis, and then print, it will print how is it going. Okay, for example, if we want a new line, and that will print a new line. Let's enter. No, it didn't. So why it didn't? So yeah, no space in between. So if you press, it's not printing. Let's print it here. Let's clear the console and print here. Go with MD. We say, how are you today? How are you today? Okay. And if we print this, click on run, and it will print out on the console. It says code with MD. How are you today in one line. Alright. So if we want in a separate lines, for example, then we have to use \n and then print. It's not printing. So we have to use a slash and not backslash. That was a mistake. So here we go, \n. Okay. Now if we click here, run, as you can see on the right hand side, it says code with MD and how are you today? It prints out a new line, which is cool, isn't it? Let's put a space in between the N and how and print what happens. So see, I put a space, so there is a little gap in between that is space, and then it prints out how are you today, which is good. Alright, let's put that together, run again. Here we go, in the same line it says code with MD and how are you today. So okay, for example, if we want a tab in between, not only a space, then we put \t. That means we are telling Python how to use the tab command, and it will run from here to there. So for example, let's run this. As you can see, code with MD, and there is a tab and how are you today. Okay. Let's clear the terminal. So let's say how's it go? How's it going? Okay, so if we put a apostrophe s, it shows that, and if you run, there will be, it says how is it going, no apostrophe s. So okay, let's put double quotation here. Okay, and put how's it going, apostrophe, and then print. It says how's it going, because we put double quotation, and it's printing whatever inside. So if we put single quotation mark here and at the front, and see, as you can tell, it's print. There we go. There is a syntax error because it doesn't know the value of S, invalid syntax in here. Okay, so to correct it, we have to go double quotation, 1, not 2, yeah, and yeah, and then if you print, it will print how's it going, which is cool. So there won't be any problem doing that. Okay. Now let's say we have print 2, print 3, and if you print it, let's clear the screen first, and if you run that now, see it prints one after another, 1, 2, 3. So instead of all being in one after another, let's put them in one line. So we can do comma and equal, same here as well, comma and equal, and same here, comma and equal quotation mark. So that end define an end characters for a string. Make sense? No, let's run this. It will make sense. Here we go. See, it printed in one string, all those 3 numbers in one string. But if you want space in between, what you're going to do is put a space in between those quotation marks. And let's see if we can get a space in between 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Yeah, it worked. There we go. As you can see how that works. 1, 2, 3, and there is a space in between. Okay, which is cool. Let's stop print function and clear the terminal. So let's print out once I caught a fish alive. Okay, you can see once, Okay. One, two, three, four, backslash 5, backslash once, comma, colon, I, C-A-U-G-H-T, caught a fish, L-I-V, live, and then we're gonna print in one line once I got a fish alive from this. Okay, that's the so for example, if you put a hash in front of it, that blurs, it just goes command goes hidden, so this won't execute in Python or in command line. So just use a hash, and you can type any functions in there. Once I one so 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I got a fish alive, right? And then we put once I see AUGHT got a fish live. Okay. If you print that, here it comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I got a fish alive. So this is, I can change, put some commas in between. Okay, and then if we print again, there are commas in between. Or you can, if you want to print line by line, say for example we put backslash and see what happens there. We'll go at the end. That shouldn't be there. Let's print this. There we go. fish alive. Print. Okay. Let's do something else. And clear the console.